brazen and deadly attack on a high-profile target.
They were armed with rocket launchers, hand grenades, Kalashnikovs, and they started firing the Sri Lanka team.
They were told cricketers would never be targeted. That was proved horribly wrong.
Here this morning, and the three cricketers whose cricket careers are already in ruins have now lost their liberty from the decisions of the judge at this English court. All four men involved in the conspiracy will serve time in jail.
Scotland Yard began investigating allegations that three Pakistani players, Salman Butt, Mohammed Amir and Mohammed Asif, were involved.
Pakistan coach Bob Woolmer was found dead today in his hotel room at the age of 58.
The entire Pakistan team and management are shocked and saddened by his passing.
He'll be definitely missed by one and all because he was a thorough professional and he could absorb all the pressure.
What's the big news?
I'm going to Pakistan.
What?
I'm going to Pakistan.
Yeah, sure.
No, real. You know how I was tweeting after the Champions Trophy I'm going to go and stuff?
Yeah.
Blowing hot air.
I've now decided I'm going and I've booked my tickets and I've applied for my visa and I'm going to go and go make a movie. How was this morning?
Good, busy.
Yeah.
It was nice. A bit chilly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good.
Everyone will welcome you, especially you are a foreigner, you know. Everyone will welcome you, whatever you are, doesn't matter, you know, regardless. They will love you, they will look after you, they will care about you. But the same thing, you know, like if I go out this like for a cricket training, what they gonna think? Telling me about the Gawal Mandi.
Oh wow, man.
One of the best places on the planet Earth.
What is it?
It's just like a street, the big street, you know.
Full street.
Gawal Mandi.
Mandi.
They have new.
M-A-N-D-I. Oh, that was proper hockey.
Yeah, you like that?
Is it chuck or is it a proper one?
They would just accuse me of chucking it. All right. Hey, Misbah, I'm coming to Pakistan and I'm going to take you on in the push-up challenge. I just want to show you how much I'm training for it. You ready? Look at this. Look at the technique, Misbah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're up for it, mate, you and me, middle of Gaddafi Stadium, let's do the push-up challenge. Let's see how many we can do. I'm going to beat you. Car park all around me. Heading on my flight to Pakistan, baby, Pakistan. I'll see you again in about 24 hours when I land. Cheers.
Te paro, hote para tonji marzi. Te paro, hote para tonji marzi. Ma più na hai to jo yaar. Ma dost bhi aaya to jo yaar. Ama chahe thi, kade pare to.
Alright, welcome back. एक बार फिर से आपको खुशामदीद कहते हैं समा राइज में दिल की आवाज आप तक पहुंच रही है and today we have got a guest with us in the program. If you have missed the intro, so I'm not going to repeat that all over. Okay, Dennis Friedman is with me. He's an Australian journalist, talks about cricket. He's in Pakistan and he is doing Pakistan right now. And so tell me about this, Qasim and Dennis, both of you. Tell me about this project that you guys have been on. Yeah, Dennis.
So, deal, what happened is I was drunk with a friend in Sydney in a pub watching the Champions Trophy final. Sweet home Islambaap, Lord, I'm coming home to you. I tweeted out, if Pakistan win this bloody thing, I'm coming to Pakistan. Not thinking in my lifetime I'd ever come, right? And then you buggers won. So, Pakistan's in the bad, congratulations. The pub was going crazy. And I said, now, how am I going to do this to my friend? He said, you should start a GoFundMe campaign page, which I didn't even know what GoFundMe was. I've never done crowdsourcing or anything. So I set it up, and within 2 days, I'd raised $6,500.
Wow.
So the generosity of the Pakistanis around the world was just phenomenal. So there was my plane ticket and some equipment done. So I'm here, and I'm exploring the security situation. I'm exploring all these perceptions that we have about Pakistan in the West. And so far, I'm happy to say that I'm pretty confident the documentary we're making is going to come out with a really positive message about Pakistan for the world.
That's nice.
And I'm kind of humbled to be the guy that's being given the opportunity to tell that message.
And Dennis, I don't think I'll be the first one, but thank you so much for this noble cause. Thank you.
You're welcome. Danny must try Ande Wala burger.
Ande Wala burger?
It's good?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, I think this is a nice bucket list to have. And Dennis is here for the next 3 days now in Karachi. So, yeah, I think these things,
absolutely.
These things can be tried. The Ande Wala burger is actually a nice snack that I try with the tea in the evening. So, yeah, I mean, it can work as a lunch as well, not as a dinner, but yeah.
So there's a very beautiful girl. I won't read her name out, so I don't know her, but I see her profile. She says, "Are you up for a dinner date in Islamabad? When are you flying in?"
That's a nice thing, mate.
Good-looking Sheila's here, eh?
Yeah, take the bait, man.
Good morning. What's happening? Good morning. So we're just gonna, the gentleman is taking us there to the house, 2 minutes from here. So we'll just follow me.
It was crucial that to kick this project off, that we got a very clear understanding of the links between cricket and Pakistani culture. And there was no better place to start than with Zahir Abbas, the man known as the Asian Bradman. Sure, he was a bit of an old-timer, but he'd been around a lot and seen many, many things.
So Zahir, I'm trying to understand what cricket means to Pakistan, because we haven't played Test cricket since 2009.
My parents, when they used to go to the National Stadium to watch the game, it used to be like Eid Day, like Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Going next day to the National Stadium and watch. So, you know, that thing kept in my mind, you know, that it is very important for my family, you know, to become something if I can do something in this game. So I started really working very hard, and my father, when he came back from Utah State University, after doing his PhD from entomology, my mother told him, look Shabir, my father's name was Shabir, your son is playing first test match against the New Zealand. I said, sure? Are you sure? Is that, you know, the truth in there? My mother said, yes, he is. He will be playing test match for Pakistan. And my father was very happy to know that I was, you know, selected.
How do we help Pakistan, and how does the ICC help Pakistan, and how does Pakistan help itself to overcome some of these perceptions about this place, so that current day teams, the Englands and the Australians, will want to come back and experience what their predecessors have done?
I would love to see them coming, you know, because they are the best teams in the world. And if they don't come, we'll miss them, always we will miss them. The point is, we have to take start from somewhere. ICC has done it already. Now it's up to the countries to come. Situation, as you know, is much better. But something or the other, it happens all over the world, you know. But, you know, I want they should try to come to promote the game of cricket all over the world. If you can go to Afghanistan, if you go to Bangladesh or some other places, why not Pakistan?
Occasionally.
While Zahir gave us some great insights, Pakistani cricket has always been surrounded by that smell of corruption. Ex-Pakistani fast bowler Takht would be the guy that could help us scratch that surface just a little bit more.
So Sikandar, why did you want to be a fast bowler?
Why I want to be a fast bowler? I don't know. I was a wicketkeeper initially.
Yeah.
I started wicketkeeping with my club team, and then one day I missed a stump in the finals, and that guy hit 161. And everybody was after me, the whole club. So I decided not to keep the wickets. And I started bowling in the nets, and somebody told me that you're a good fast bowler. I think you start bowling faster. Started faster. Simple, very simple and straight.
What would be different for them versus what was then?
When I was playing, people used to play on the streets. Still, people are playing on the street. But nowadays, children like to go to the academies. There are a lot of academies. They think academy is the real thing from where they can become a cricketer. But I don't think so. I think they have to play on the street. They have to go and play on the grounds, and then they can become a cricketer. So nowadays, the change is that we used to play on the streets early in the morning or before the sunset, and nowadays they all go to the cricket academies, which is a safer place to go and play. But you cannot become a cricketer just by going into the cricket academy.
And is that making it more elite? Is it harder for a guy from a poorer area in Pakistan to now see cricket as a legitimate future for themselves?
Honestly speaking, all the cricketers, they are from the very modest families. No rich guy is there in the Pakistan team except Shan Masood. Shan Masood's father is a senior banker. So he used to come into my academy for 6 years. And he's the only one, I think, who is from the elite class. You can say that he's studying in England. Otherwise, everybody is from the modest background. They play on the streets. Their families are poor, and they came from that background. So nowadays, still, only the poor people come into the cricket side.
So Sikandar, does that explain why we see more times that we have corruption issues and match fixing issues in Pakistan?
You can say, yeah, in a way, but like the corruption is not only in Pakistan, it starts from India all the time. The hub is in India. And India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Pakistan too. Because the background is, as I said, the modest families. The kids usually come from a very poor family, so that's how they lower them. This is the way they talk to them. See, you become unfit. I have spoken to a few guys. They said, like, I have no chance. If I become unfit, then I won't be able to make money. So to make quick bucks, they get involved. Once they get involved, and then they cannot come back.
But someone like SomeWhatSuper, who was the captain, I actually saw someone play in Hobart. He's a guy he's from a very good family, right? And he has means. So what is it that would attract him to take money and then also bring others along? Is it more than just the money? Is there something else culturally that I need to be aware of?
Culturally, I don't think so. Corruption is in our country. There is no doubt about that. All the politicians are very famous for that. But culturally, I don't know about culture, but I think the way you are brought up, I think there must be something wrong with the Salman Bhat's brought up. Otherwise, there are so many other good kids from good backgrounds. Ramizada is from a good background. Imran Khan and his cousins, Majid Khan, they're all from a good background. Mohsin Khan is from a good background, from educated class, and all those people.
From the back. And the backward right,
Dennis, let me tell you a story about this bat. One of my friends, Imran Hussain, he was visiting England when he was a young boy with his father, and he met the West Indian team, and somehow he managed to get this bat out of Sir Viv Richards. And at some point, I was sitting in his house, and he showed his extraordinary love for me, and he said, let me give you a present. So he went into his room, took out this bat and said, why don't you have this? And I will always cherish those moments with him, and I will always keep this bat with me no matter what.
So that's Viv's bat?
So there's Viv's bat, and then I also have a bat that of the modern days thickest, fattest bat. And that's David Warner's Kaboom. Let's compare the two.
Unreal.
Imagine if Viv Richards had this bat. His average would be 199, not 99 like the real Bradman.
Back in the day, this was like that.
Mountain Crows.
Yeah, no, it was. So this I bought from a guy who is a retired cricketer in Pakistan, so they'd exchanged bats with this New Zealander. I don't remember, I don't want to lie. So this is one of those, what you call...
That's Chris Martin's bat.
Is it? Probably.
It was great to catch up with Rehan Sheikh, probably Pakistan's uber cricket fan, a guy that knew everybody and a guy that knew everything to do with cricket. But the thing that shone through with Rehan was his hospitality.
Like, thank you for showing us your bat collection and the stories. I mean, it's just amazing that you have a Viv Richards bat.
Yes.
Right? And when I compare this to David Warner's bat, you just think, how does he do that? But I want to add to your collection something you don't have.
Okay.
My
God! Love it.
You like that?
I'm actually going to go and right towards mid-off with this. Thank you.
Thanks for inviting us into your house.
This is fantastic.
We can get someone to sign that for you.
Yeah, you can sign it.
Okay, done.
That will be great. For me, you are very special.
It's been said that what makes Pakistani cricketers unique is that they grow up playing tape ball cricket, a game of street cricket where a tennis ball is wrapped in electrical tape in magic and mystical ways that makes the ball swing and do things that we don't see in other parts of the world. It's often said that by playing this game in the streets, the Pakistani players become better batsmen, much better bowlers, and become a lot more resilient. I was now going to go and hit those streets and test my skills against balls coming at me at around 160 kilometres an hour in some cases. Being a 42-year-old Sunday cricketer, now was not the time to show any fear.
Right, we're back and we have with us a very special guest who lost his way all the way from Melbourne, Australia. We have Dennis Friedman over here, who is the host of a aptly named show, Can't Bowl, Can't Throw, and he's also a writer for our very own Dawn newspaper. Welcome to Karachi, Dennis.
Thank you, I'm enjoying it and pleasure to be here.
So did you miss your flight or they offloaded you on a connecting flight? What happened?
Yeah, it's funny actually, the story's interesting. When I checked in at Melbourne, and I gave my passport to the person behind the desk. They said, "What is your final destination?" Yeah. And I said, "I'm off to Karachi."
That must have gotten a fun reaction.
And the guy looks at me, this Aussie guy, and he says, "Are you?" He said a swear word. "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah." And then when I got to to Abu Dhabi, the same thing. I went down to the gate for PIA, where the PIA flight was, and I asked the guy, "Where is the gate for?" The Karachi flight, and again he looked at me funny. He said, "You want to go to Karachi?"
I remember you. I was following some of your tweets and things that you were writing, and I remember a particular tweet which got you into this whole thing.
To come to Pakistan?
Yes.
Yeah, so my timeline on Facebook and Twitter just filled up. I was getting messages on...
I saw all those messages.
"Dennis, you have to come, you made a promise, you've got to come, you're our guest." And so I bit the bullet and I told my wife, "You know what, I'm going to put a GoFundMe page up and let's see if we can raise a couple of $1,000 to pay for my ticket and I'll make some YouTube videos while I'm here or something. I'll find a way through." Hi, this is Dennis Friedman. Some accuse me of being a cricket journalist from Australia. You are listening to City FM 89, your favourite radio station. Tell me, Saif, if you have a choice between the T20 circuit around the world or playing test match cricket on home soil in Pakistan, which one?
So I definitely prefer my test match in front of my nation, in front of my country.
Why? Why?
You know, when I will play in front of my country, in front of my crowd, so it will make me proud. So that's the main thing. I will satisfy that because it will make me relief and I will enjoy that.
Nadeem Omar represented a subsection of the Pakistani elite, an incredibly wealthy man made on the back of various businesses. But I was told that he was also extremely humble and a large philanthropist, giving both ridiculous amounts of time and money back into cricket in an effort to watch it grow.
And doing some wonderful things there, but you also have this multitude of clubs, you know, at city level and at a local level. Why is it so important to you to support the lower level guys?
I mean, I think, we have to give something back. That is one of the points. But the love for sports, I always felt that when we go to the Olympics or such a arena, and whenever we have this national anthem going on, the flag being raised, it gives you so much, it's a pleasure to do that.
How damaging has it been not having big international tours in Pakistan since 2009 for the kids coming through?
Yeah, like everybody says, it's a cliche thing, but you have to watch your superheroes performing in front of your eyes. There's one generation which has skipped that, it's been 8 and 9 years and they have not gone to a stadium and watched their own players playing. So I think we have lost a lot, not only for cricket, but all sports. All sports have not been, played over here. That is why I think we are on the back foot as far as going for world titles that we had so many years ago. And if you don't have sports or anything going on in your particular country, the children, they don't have anything to look up to. But thank goodness for television that we can see them on telly.
Farhan Saeed contracted polio as a child and lost the use of one leg. He plays for the Pakistani disabled cricket team and in fact bowled their first ever delivery. It's difficult to accurately describe how Farhan bowls, except to say that watching a guy use a crutch off a 15-metre run-up and ping it with speed and accuracy brought goosebumps to all watching.
Farhan, thank you for meeting with us. What is your disability?
मैं आपका भी शुक्रिया अदा करता हूँ और मेरी डिसेबिलिटी मेरे लेफ्ट पैर पोलियो हो गया था मेरे को तो क्रिकेट बचपन में पोलियो हो गया था शौक तो मुझे बचपन से था क्रिकेट खेलने का लेकिन 2007 में डिसेबल टीम बनी तो मैंने नेशनल स्टेडियम में हमारे ट्रायल हो रहे थे तो वहाँ आके मैंने वहाँ ट्रायल दिए अपने आके और मैं इस तरीके से डिसेबल टीम में आया
Farhan, when did you choose to be a bowler and why not a batsman?
मुझे बॉलिंग करने का बहुत शौक था और ख़ास तौर पे मैं शोएब भाई जो हमारे पाकिस्तान के इंटरनेशनल प्लेयर हीरो है तो उनको देख के मुझे बहुत शौक था कि मैं देखूं तो जो जिस तरीके से वो बॉलिंग करते थे तो मैं भी चाहता था कि जब मैं ग्राउंड में उतरूं तो सामने लोगों की गिल्लियां उड़ा दूं
The players who were watching had never seen Farhan bowl and were in awe. If nothing else, they would have walked away energised from the spirit of this man. I just work harder than everyone else, Farhan tells me. Farhan, you're my new favourite cricketer. Adil Obaid is a female cricket journalist who started Khel Cricket, a web and media company dedicated to street and local games. I wanted to know what life was like in Pakistan as a woman and how hard it was for her to crack into cricket journalism.
There's perceptions in Australia about Pakistan, and there's all these crazy perceptions about a female's role in the Islamic world.
Of course.
Whether they're right or wrong, I don't know, I'm still learning. But tell me your experience in Pakistan as a woman, covering a game that, to be fair, so far all I've seen is men playing.
So yes, predominantly cricket here that is played by men. Is it easy being a woman walking into a field where there are 30 men and I'm the only one there? No. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Yes, we do have women who have to sit at home and have that certain perception of being the typical woman. But things are changing, and I think the more people are getting educated, the older we're growing, the more people are realizing that these are also safe spaces for women. They're not just for men. And we saw that when Khel Cricket went and did our women's cricket tournaments, and that's when we realized that even though we were having tournaments that were ending at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, the parents were sitting there with them. They weren't stopping them from playing. And that was interesting.
And are you finding that the opportunities for a female journalist in this sport, which is heavily covered, like it's the biggest sport in the country by a long way, are you finding barriers for yourself as a journalist to get in and do meaningful things?
On a local level, yes, it was quite hard. The perception of the organizers when I first came in, the perception of the players was, why is this girl coming in? We're really uncomfortable. Why is she sitting in the pavilion? You know, this is not her place. And it took a number of matches and it took several conversations and meetings to try and have them see me as an equal. So in some ways, it does have, it creates a little bit of a barrier. But once you get past that, I realize people respect you so much more for it and are more than happy then to go the extra mile.
Yeah, so is there a difference with the younger people coming through between what Amir did and say what SomeWhatSuper did? Because the PCB have a stated policy of zero tolerance, yet it doesn't look like that's what's happening.
To be honest, personally, I felt like there are millions of kids in Karachi who are playing in academies and playing their hearts out, people in first class and grade 2 level who might be as good as Amir, or maybe they're not, but they deserve to have that chance because they haven't sold their country out. If you get to wear that green jersey and you get to have that star on your chest, you have to respect it. And when Amir first came onto the scene, he was one of the biggest and brightest and most brilliant stars. I mean, everybody dubbed him to be the next Wasim Akram. But when he sold us out, it was such intense heartbreak. I don't think it should have been like his sentence was over and he was inducted back. He should have been made an example of. What are you saying if you say you can serve your time and then come back in?
And what does the PSL mean to Pakistan, given we haven't been able to play, had a proper international tour here since 2009?
It means that we shouldn't care that much anymore, that we're not part of the IPL.
So we're in the car, we're on our way to see Mohan Khan, who is ex-Pakistani test skipper, but he runs a clinic for kids to get them better at cricket. But geez, we're all tired. I'm here with the crew in the car, and we've got one guy here on the cricket youth app looking at watching the Sri Lanka-Pakistan match live, another guy at the front asleep. The guy holding the camera now is stuffed. We've been going full on. But just some reflections, it's only day 3, but some things are starting to come through. One is just the passion that these guys have for cricket. When I mean these guys, this country, it's just phenomenal. Really enjoying it. So tell me about this facility, who owns it, what your role is here, what's it trying to achieve?
Well, actually, when I used to play, when I was a captain, I always have a dream to have my own academy, you know. Whatever I've learned, you know. So I just wanted to transfer to the younger generation. In 2009, we have signed a contract with DHA people, and they've been, I mean, very, very supportive throughout since we signed the contract. And now you can see the ground and everything here, you know. The boys are getting coaching, and we have a team of 15 coaches here. So I am quite confident and satisfied as well at a certain level that whatever I have earned from this country, I'm actually trying to give back to the younger generation, you know.
You were lucky enough to play in Pakistan, Test cricket, against India, against all the nations, full stadiums. What was that like? Because since 2009 we haven't had Test cricket here, and a lot of people are starting to lose the memory of what they might have been, and the younger generation have never been able to see the heroes in front of their own eyes.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was very unfortunate part since that incident happened with the Sri Lankan team in Pakistan, in Lahore. Very unfortunate, and we had a, I mean, very bad time afterwards. You know, everybody, I mean, all the countries, especially the test playing nations, they refused to come to Pakistan. Now it's time again that since that PSL final happened and then Zimbabwe came 2 years back, the teams are now coming back to Pakistan. So I think we must praise the efforts of PCB, which they have delivered actually in the past, especially 3 years. And the team of, I must mention the name of Mr. Najim Seth, he was the current chairman of PCB. I think he had the vision, you know. When I met him first, then he always, I mean, used to tell people even that we want to, I mean, bring back the international cricket to this country.
This is one of the Pakistan cable drums. The cable comes on this.
Yeah.
We've just rolled this out. I've just rolled it in myself.
So basically, as I was talking that, we're sort of sponsors of sports and art. So, I think art and sports bring back a lot to the community, and this is an initiative by the Karachi Binale. And so what we've been doing is sponsoring reels across the city, and there have been different expressions of art. This so happens to be a cricket expression, so it's a perfect one for us to go through. But yeah, I mean, it's just another initiative that Pakistan Cable has been involved with. So you want to go?
Let's see how good I am, all right?
Okay.
How many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 10. How many do you think I'll get?
You'll get 9.
You get 9? I think you're wrong. I'll get about 3. I don't know. Javid.
The man, the legend, yes.
So I remember this guy as a kid, right? Because at the Wacker he's holding his bat over Dennis Lilly's head. And that's when I can recall Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this guy's got some... Now, I know this is Misbah, but it's hard to tell him without the beard.
Yeah.
Can we get the artist back to put a beard on him, please? I'm going to pass here. I'll come back. I'm going to pass here, I'm not sure. This is Yunus.
Yes.
YK.
Yes, YK.
This is the Tiger, Imran Khan.
This is the Tiger, yes.
Wazim Bhai.
Wazim Bhai.
Waka. I'm going to say Boom Boom.
That's Boom Boom.
I'm hoping it's a really young Inzamam, but I'm not sure.
I think that's Inzamam, yeah.
Sorry, Mohammed Yusuf.
Yeah, Mohammed Yusuf.
And this is, I was going to say Cameron Akmal, but I got no idea who this is.
No, this is Shoaib.
Oh, that's Shoaib?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got maybe 9, you're right.
Yeah. No, not bad.
We're at this restaurant at the beach at Karachi. We've got Beaver playing in the background, which is traditional Karachi music. And with Farhan, this is his restaurant. He's the quality control guy here. And he's rolled out a whole lot of traditional foods. It's got good spice, strong spice.
It's Bihari. It's contained Bihari masala.
So it's got a strong spice.
From India.
Very strong spice. It's creamy. It's melting in there. It's popping. The flavours are like... Day 3 in Karachi, and it's been non-stop. And I'm starting to see that this link between Pakistan and cricket is really there. It's not about just making money or driving a Mercedes or being a hero. I think those days maybe are past. I don't know. We'll find out as we go into some other cities and meet some of the younger cricketers. But really excited from what we've seen so far. I feel really safe. I'm enjoying the food. The crew's been great. I'm bloody tired though, so I'm looking forward to a sleep. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. So our time in Karachi is finished. We're on the Pakistan International Airways domestic flight to Bahawalpur, which I think I pronounced correctly. I've been told this is like a small town. And when I asked the guys how many people there, they said, maybe 500,000. So when they say small, they mean a lot. I've got no idea what we're going to see when we get there, but apparently it's a really old place. And let's see what goes on. Really had a great time in Karachi. Still haven't tried biryani. We failed to try the biryani, but we'll get there at some stage. But Bahawalpur.
is absolutely amazing here. It looks, this old fort's from sort of 1200 AD, and all these bricks, this whole thing, it's massive, all built by hand in sort of wood-fired kilns in the local region, from what I'm told. And if you just look at the detail in the bricks, and you just, God knows how many there would be, but if you had to count them all, there would be billions. And just imagine the effort that would have gone into this to build this by hand at the time. We're in the middle of a desert. We're in hard work. We're at the end of the day now, so the sun's gone down a bit. But you can feel, you can probably see just in the colour how hot the day would have been. But to imagine building this in the day, great effort. We're at the top now, where the king would reside, and look over his palace and his people, and you can see for miles and miles and miles. It's just flat as a pancake out there. It's kind of like the Australian outback in some regards. It's sort of like a sparse desert with little bits of green and whatnot. And then behind us, we have the village. And when we're all quiet and the crew doesn't move around too much, you can just hear the sound of the cowbells and the kids playing in the street and a little bit of cricket. And it's just so peaceful out here.
From the fort, we were escorted back to our hotel by the local police. It's not dangerous at all, they said. We're in a desert, there's nothing out here. But better to be safe than sorry. You're our guest, so we have to look after you.
One of the reasons I came to Pakistan was to explore the security situation and see if it really was as unsafe as what we think it is in the West. And today I had my first run-in with the local cops and also the military. We're in the town of Bulbul, which I've since learned I don't have permission to be in. And we checked into a quick hotel to stay the night. Might pass on this stuff.
Okay. So the police escort's waiting outside. Let's not take too long.
Really? Good morning. Sorry to keep you waiting. Haircut. Hey, boss. Oh, he's a big boy. Look at the size of this guy. We're on our way from Bahawalpur to Lahore, and given that we weren't meant to be in Bahawalpur because my visa conditions don't allow it, we found out. We have a police escort all the way through, now all the way through to Lahore. And the crew have cracked the shits a bit, because what it means is we can't just stop on the side of the road and do some filming and sort of, drink from the tea stall or speak to the local characters on this leg of the trip. Instead, we have to tail these sort of special police, I guess the SWAT squad, all the way through there. A little bit worried that there's a foreigner out here. So we're halfway in our trip from Multan through to Lahore. We're at a place called Sher-e-Balochistan. Got off the bus just to stretch our legs. As you can see, the police are still with us. They won't leave us alone. I'm hoping the route will come out of the lounge soon and we can get ourselves a drink. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lahore. The temperature outside is above 28 degrees. The time, if you'd like to synchronise your watches, is 5:30. We hope you've enjoyed your drive day with the bus lines. It's been our pleasure having you, and we look forward to seeing you once again. Good night. My name's Dennis Friedman. I'm a freelance cricket journalist from Australia, and decided to come to Pakistan to make a documentary
to look at the link between cricket and Pakistan and why it's so strong and what makes Pakistan and Pakistani people so resilient. And also wanted to explore some of the myths that the Western media portray about Pakistan. To do so, I'm travelling around the country with the Cricket GIF guys and the Pakistan Cable guys, and thanks to them for sponsoring the trip and allowing this to happen. And my aim is to portray a very positive image about Pakistan and my time here so far. I've met some amazing people, including Zahir Abbas and Sikandar Bhatt and Mohan Khan down in Karachi, and we've got a lot of interviews lined up here in the north as well. So that's what I'm here for.
Standing at a roundabout in Lahore, and as you can see behind me, maybe not even 200 metres is the gate of Gaddafi Stadium and the lighthouse of Gaddafi Stadium. And this is the place in March 2009 where the Sri Lankan team bus got shut up by terrorists, which changed the whole course of Pakistan's cricket history for the last 8 or 9 years. It was about 8:40 in the morning on the 3rd of March 2009. The bus was coming in from the hotel, literally got to this corner. The bus was shot at, grenades were thrown at it. There was even a rocket launcher shot at the bus that missed and hit a power pole on the other side of the street. Would have been a hell of a time. Would have been one hell of a time.
Najam Sethi is a controversial character in Pakistan. When we met him, he was the chairman of the Pakistani Cricket Board, outspoken and influential. I wanted to know what role he had to play in helping the country grow cricket again.
Cricket is possibly the most articulate passion in the country. It is akin to nationalism. There are only two areas where Pakistanis unite, across sectarian divides, across regional divides, across ethnicity and race. And that's one is on when we are at war with somebody, and the second time is when we are playing cricket. The role of the PCB is to develop the game and to encourage it and to extend it in all spheres of life. As the governing board, our job is to encourage the game. Our job is to create excellence. Our job is to train cricketers. Our job is to channel their energies. And our job is to create national teams of international repute and standing. Pakistan is a very safe country. It is safer today than it was yesterday. And it was safer yesterday than it was day before yesterday. And it will be even more safe in the years and days to come. Therefore, my sense is that things are improving. And we need to see this as work in progress, as incremental improvement. And that is how incrementally international cricket will also come back. My sense is that in the next 5 years, you will see us right at the top of the league, both in all formats of the game.
We're inside the PCB headquarters at Gaddafi Stadium, Lahore. Out there you can see the grounds and so forth. But I wanted to bring you here because the most interesting thing is they have a full-size replica of David Warner's bat. I'm at the National Cricket Academy here in Lahore. Aqib Javed is the team manager of the Lahore Qalandars, one of the PSL teams. The kids are here. They've just picked 16 kids out of 160,000 who turned up to trial for the team. Just gives you an insight into how cricket and Pakistan are linked. How, should the sport still give these guys a second chance like Amir, Islambaap and others who have been tainted, or is the way forward to say you've had a chance and now go do something else?
Personally, I don't believe in second chance. I don't know, but it's all up to the PCB and the people to decide. But personally, if you ask me, there's no chance, second chance. If you want to secure these sports, you have to take tough decisions, and tough means firm. If you know somebody's involved, then take a strong stance and make sure that you set the right examples for the people who are growing up.
I'm at Gaddafi Stadium here in Lahore, and in 1974 the Libyan dictator Colonel Gaddafi came here and made a speech to the world acknowledging that Pakistan should have the right to own and develop nuclear weapons.
And on the back of that, this stadium was changed from what it was then known as Lahore Stadium to Gaddafi Stadium, which raises an interesting point. Pakistan has an image problem in a lot of parts of the world, and some of it relates to terrorism. Yet this stadium is still named after a guy that ordered the bombing and blowing up of a passenger airline over Scotland some time back. So when will the PCB and when will the people of Pakistan change the name of this place back to Lahore Stadium? Part of me thinks that maybe the reason it hasn't happened yet is that there's some political mileage to be gained from it and the timing has to be right. But if we're truly trying to change the image of Pakistan to the outside world, then renaming this place is a small part of the puzzle that probably has to happen pretty soon. Misbah al-Haq was the captain of the Pakistani cricket side in 2016, and he took them to #1 in the world despite Pakistan not being able to play at home since 2009 due to the bombing and shooting of the Sri Lankan team bus. An amazing achievement and an amazing leader. One of the most iconic photographs and memories of Misbah in recent years was his recent English tour, where he made a century when he was over the age of 40. And to show that he was still young enough to play Test cricket, got down on his haunches and did 10 push-ups as a sign of defiance against people that said he's too old to lead the team. We've just found out we've got the okay to interview Misbah, and we're on the way to go see him at the National Cricket Academy in Lahore. I've been training for a long, long time to see if I can do more push-ups than Misbah, and hopefully he'll accept my Misbah versus Dennis push-up challenge. Of all the things I wanted to do in Pakistan, this is probably the one. I see Misbah as someone who is the epitome of resilience and also adversity, being able to stand up to adversity. And let's see what he's got to say. I've got some interesting questions to put to him, and I want to know if my fitness is as good as his, as we're both now age 42. So Misbah, as captain, you took Pakistan to #1 in Test match cricket, despite everything being against the team, right? Yeah, couldn't play at home since 2009. You've a lot of change in the team, a lot of change in the administration, Mohammed Amir's return, all kinds of unique things were going on, and they got to #1. What did that mean to the Pakistani people in terms of cricket rising to the top?
If you look at this sport, especially cricket, it's something special for the whole country, for everybody, because this is the major sport, and Pakistan being doing well. It's so popular throughout the country. I mean, if you look around, go around the streets, you find most of the people playing cricket. Anywhere you go, in any part of the Pakistan. That's why I think to do well in cricket is the most important thing for the whole nation, because we always watch cricket, follow cricket, and we love being at the top in cricket.
What makes Pakistani people so resilient, insofar as what I've noticed through this, right? I think there's some direct links with Australians. So I think we're at our best when our back is against the wall and everything is going poorly, we step up.
Yeah, it's always about belief. Before you perform, it's all here. If you're not believing that I can do this, then it's almost impossible. It's not easy in Pakistan. In any profession, in any aspect of your life, you have to work hard. And if you want to be right at the top, you need to be mentally very, very strong. So that, I think, makes every Pakistani like that. I mean, we are through such difficult times throughout our lives that we are used to that, and we just say whenever it's the most difficult time, we just say, okay, we'll see, and somehow we'll just find ways to get out of that. And that's why you see whenever Pakistan cricket is also like in tough situations, when the players are in tough situations, I mean,
they just produce such sort of performances that people even don't think of that they're going to win from this situation, or they're going to perform like that from this situation, like Pakistan did in Champions Trophy. I mean, after first game, suddenly young team under pressure, nobody was expecting that we're going to win another game, and we haven't lost a single game after that, and was the champions. So that's something special in Pakistanis.
I'm curious on twofold. One, the impact on cricket for you, being an Islamic man. Is there any impact at all that certain things that need to be done or not done? And then on the second side of things, I'm curious to understand a bit more about Islam and Pakistan, and how those two things are intertwined culturally, and how that impacts society. And is there some resilience that comes from the religion as well, maybe into Pakistan?
Yeah, really, religion is all about belief. I mean, that's if you start something, it's very important for you that you believe. And believing in Allah, that just takes every fear away from you. Because then you're not just thinking about the results. Okay, I will fail, I will not score runs, maybe I will lose. Because you're believing that everything is in His control. What you can do, you can go there and put your honest effort. And if you're honest, if you're working hard, if you're helping others, if you're following the rules, then no matter what happens, I'm satisfied. I've done my job, just put my 100% effort. Whatever result is there, then I will accept that happily. So that just brings satisfaction. That just takes pressure away from you. So in that perspective, I think religion helps you a lot. It's important for anyone. If you're a good Muslim, a believer, good believer, not only you're saying, oh, I believe in Allah. From the heart, you have to believe that. If you believe that from your heart, then I don't think so you have to care about the results or anything, or this will happen, no fears, nothing. So that's the most important thing. And that helped me a lot. I mean, I might have fears in my life, not getting runs, this and that. But then again, that belief just gave me that strength that, okay, I have to overcome it. If it's not in my hand is only honest effort. I did that and just see through those difficult times. And I think that gives resilience to most of the guys playing for Pakistan or doing other things in Pakistan. And that is an important aspect in our life.
I agree. Let's do it. Thank you, sir. So we just finished with Misbah. As you can see, I've got his signature here on my shirt. We've got Moin, Sakindabad, we've got Sher-e-Balochistan. This thing's starting to come together. We couldn't quite do the push-up challenge today, but he asked us to come to the ground tomorrow where he's playing. We're at the first-class game here in Lahore where Misbah's playing. He told us to come down here today. He's in the stands over there somewhere with the Asir Shah as well as coming over. We're trying to see if we can't get the push-up challenge done. Obviously, I'm representing Australia. I feel like I'm paparazzi. So the day's play's over. Misbah's doing a press interview there. You can see all the crowd that gather around to the first-class matches. This is more than what we see in Australia. And that the players make themselves available for the selfies is really giving back, and maybe it's starting the resurgence of cricket in Pakistan. Adnan, there's been no international cricket in Pakistan since 2009.
Yeah.
How hard is it for a player like yourself to be motivated to keep playing when you can't play in front of your home crowd?
यू नो पाकिस्तान ने बहुत ज़्यादा स्ट्रगल किया आफ्टर श्रीलंका जो हैपेंड हुआ था, उसके बाद काफ़ी स्ट्रगल करनी पड़ी क्योंकि मैं भी टेस्ट क्रिकेट खेला हूँ, 21 टेस्ट मैचेस का। होम में खेलने का अपना मज़ा है और अवे जाके खेलना वो थोड़ा डिफरेंट, होम क्राउड में खेलना, परफॉर्म करना बड़ा अच्छा लगता है और बड़ा लकी हैं कि पाकिस्तान क्रिकेट वापस आ गया पाकिस्तान में। ऑल द पाकिस्तानी सो हैप्पी और हमारे स्टेडियम दोबारा से आबाद हो गए हैं और यहाँ पे क्रिकेट वापस आई है तो लोग इज़ सो हैप्पी।
Misbah won't do the push-ups with me, but he's just behind the cameraman here. So I'm on the ground, I'm going to have a crack, see how many I can do in 60 seconds. I've been training for this.
Base.
50 in 43 seconds. I'm done. Misbah, the challenge is on.
Lahore is one of those ancient cities that has parts that are exactly as you'd expect and other parts that surprise. It has an aged, walled section that is nothing like Australia has to offer. It's like New York has met Berlin. It's alive, it's buzzing, and it just feels like a nice place to live. Shahbaz Kalia is a legend in Lahore, a legend in Pakistan. Shahbaz is known to bet with bowlers that he can hit them for 6 sixes in an over. Shahbaz always wins that.
Shahbaz, thank you. Can you tell me what tape ball cricket is about?
टेबल क्रिकेट जो है ना वो हमारे समझ ले पाकिस्तान का लाहौर का कल्चर है। यहाँ पे ये टेबल बहुत ज़्यादा खेली जाती है और इस टेबल की वजह से ही हमारे जितने भी स्टार हैं इसमें मोहम्मद हफीज़, सोहेल तनवीर, मिसबाह उल हक ये काफ़ी ये टेबल से ही निकले हुए हैं सारे। ये टेबल खेल के फिर इसके बाद आगे निकले हैं।
And what does tape ball mean for the guy in the street, for the average person? How important is tape ball cricket?
जो असल सही जो टेबल खेली जाती है वो तो ग्राउंड्स में होती है और अच्छे मैचेस में होती है। उसके अलावा जस्ट एक एंटरटेनमेंट है सिर्फ।
We're in one of the suburbs of Lahore, and behind me you can hear all these drums. We've come to this sort of underbelly of Lahore where the youngsters get together at a private house, and they're called a drum circle. They all get together for a couple of hours and they're going to smash drums. We're going to go check it out. It's one of those little things when you scratch the surface of a city and you think a little bit deeper, you can kind of see what's going on with the people and how they enjoy themselves. So let's go inside and see if we can't learn to play a drum. With all these cool Lahoris. It's amazing. There's men, women, girls, families, everybody's here. We're smacking on drums. It's quite enlightening. And this is what these guys are doing for fun. They don't need nightclubs, they don't need alcohol. They're here smacking away with drums with their families and their kids having the time of their lives.
So that's a space.
I've just put corn in my mouth. I can't even explain it. I'm talking like I've just left the dentist.
Lahore and Islambaap on the Grand Trunk Road, or the GT Road as the locals call it. The other thing I've discovered is as we're driving along, there is cannabis just growing wild on the sides of the road. We'll get some shots of it later. Now I know why it's called weed. So here they put it in cigarettes, or they actually just mulch it into like lassi, into a drink, and they drink it and get high that way. It's just everywhere. It's like cockroaches. You can't stop it. One of the guys asked me if I want to bring some home. I'm not sure that's a good idea. But probably should try it before we go, because it'd be rude not to, right?
Kante burgers te jaldi sonde. Benz Audi 70 Honda. Gold chakkar pindi de londe. Rep United tusi ਐਵੇਂ ਰੋਂਦੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਚੜ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੇਖਾਂ ਸਾਰਾ ਇਸਲਾਮਾਬਾਦ ਜਾਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਖ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਸਲਾਮਾਬਾਪ ਰੌਕ ਸਟਾਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੱਗੇ ਸਾਮਾ ਡਾਰ ਬਾਕੀ ਰੈਂਬੋ ਬਾਕੀ ਰੈਂਡੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਪਾੜ ਚੱਕ ਕਰੂ 051 ਦਿੰਦੇ ਡੀ ਚੌਕ ਤੇ ਤਰਨਾ ਰੈਡ ਜ਼ੋਨ ਬੰਦ ਤੇ ਬੰਦ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਨਾ ਚੱਲੇ ਮੋਟਰੋਲਾ
Dr. Naman Niaz has an amazing history with Pakistani cricket, holding roles from team official to now being one of the main men at PTV, the national broadcaster. Naman is the host of Game on High, the country's most watched sporting TV show. He invited me to the PTV studio where we recorded an hour-long show, just he and I, debating cricket and making bad jokes.
Okay, Dennis, how do you feel being in Pakistan? And I want your truest perspective.
Sure. So look, I came for two reasons. One was I wanted to explore the link between Pakistan and cricket. To me, it's some intrinsic bond that's really hard to break, and it's inseparable. And something unique for an Australian, because cricket's maybe not quite that in Australia. The football codes tend to dominate. And the other thing I wanted to explore was, in the Western media we have a lot of perceptions that are portrayed about this country, and I just couldn't believe that they were all true. And a lot of them are negative. So I got off my backside and decided to come over. And I tell you what, I've had an amazing 2 weeks. The people are extremely hospitable. I've felt very safe.
You feel? Just repeat it. You feel very safe.
I feel safe. I feel as safe here as I do in other parts of the world. I've walked the streets. I've been to Karachi. I've been to Lahore. I've been to Islamabad now.
You had local curries. I could see the photographs being flashed on your Twitter account. You had a heavy breakfast, and I could see that you have gained about 25 kgs.
I think the word is mota, right?
Oh, right. Mota, yeah. You're so right. It's fat.
Naman is well known to possibly own the greatest personal cricket memorabilia collection on the planet. All have been signed by the player that appears in them. There is the bat collection, there is the ball collection, the books, all signed. Then there's the DVD collection, the VHS tapes and all those documents. All original, all authentic, all unique. I may have just met the biggest cricketing fan in the world.
This is the rarest cricket book, and the best part is it's signed by Kenneth Farmers. Right? I hope you like it. This is the ball used in the first day and night test in England, signed by Stuart Broad and Jimmy Anderson.
This ball is slightly overrated now.
These are all autograph sheets which I can't put on the walls because I don't have space. This is Ranjit Singh Ji, that's Arthur Shrewsbury, that's Lord Hawke, that's E.M. Grace. I also have his book. These are all from 1932 till 1982, all the first day covers of the test matches. All signed. This collection from here to there, this is the greatest in the world. It's not in Asia. They're all originals. These are Jardine. This is what? This is
Jardine at the top here.
Yeah, 1932. This is 1932-33. This is West Indies 1933. This is Australia 1936-37.
Don Bradman.
Yeah, this is Bradman's trademark signature.
Yeah.
The one with which he started. And this is Australia 1931. This is Australia 1934. This is the first Indian test team. Sorry. This is the first Indian test team. C.K. Naidu, Wazir Ali, S.M. Kola, Jahangir Khan, Syed Nazir Ali. Right?
This has to be the greatest cricket collection held in one place anywhere in the world. There is nothing I've ever seen or heard like this. This is ridiculous. This is mind-blowing.
Come here now. This was originally signed by Adolf Hitler. Don't ask me the cost. I'm not. That's Barack Obama.
I'm on my way to meet Imran Khan, cricket legend. soon to be Prime Minister, builder of cancer treatment hospitals, arguably the most important and influential person in Pakistan. It's Hero Worship 101. Pakistanis love their heroes, and there is no reason why they shouldn't love Imran.
So Imran, what does cricket mean to Pakistan?
Cricket is the most loved sport in Pakistan. In fact, 90% of all sport played in Pakistan is cricket. And this wasn't the case when we started off. When I started my cricketing career, hockey was very big in Pakistan, field hockey. And gradually, cricket has just outstripped all the sports. So it is the main sport in Pakistan.
And what is it that cricket has taken over hockey? What was the driver?
I think it's just cricket had more money, it had more glamour. It just attracted bigger crowds. That's it.
Pakistan got to #1 in the world in Test match cricket last year. They won the Champions Trophy this year. Yet you haven't been able to play at home, or the team hasn't been able to play at home in front of its own fans for so long. What is it that makes the Pakistani people so resilient?
I think there's probably more talent in Pakistan than any other cricketing country. I mean, when I was the captain, because we had a very poor first-class cricket structure, so you could not rely on them to select your teams. So I randomly selected players who barely played first-class cricket. And actually the team which I left, which won the World Cup, and then in the 90s, I think that team was the best team in Pakistan's cricket history in terms of fast bowling, medium pace, spin, outstanding 2 or 3 batsmen, world-class batsmen like Inzamam and Saeed Anwar. So, we have the talent. We just do not have the domestic cricket to polish that talent. And if all we have to do is, like in Australia, squeeze all the talent in top 6 teams. And then if you have first-class team, regional teams, top 6 teams, I think Pakistan would in a couple of years become unbeatable.
Where I come from in Melbourne, we don't know too much about Pakistani cricket, only when you come every 4 or 5 years. You're a bit of a mystery to us. But one of the negative perceptions around Pakistani cricket is the match-fixing scandals that tend to pop up. What's your views on match-fixing, and should people tainted by this be allowed back into the game?
I think the punishments should be severe. And I do not think it should be like first, second, third degree murder. The first degree match fixers should be out. There could be some exceptions made, to the extent of the crime. But it is damaging cricket. Match fixing and the spot fixing, which is much more difficult to detect. But match fixing where a team throws a match, that's unpardonable. And that should be I'm all for the entire team being thrown out.
So looking into the crystal ball, in 5 years' time, what does cricket look like both in Pakistan and globally?
I think cricket is going up. 2020 has done a great thing in introducing cricket to more people. The challenge for global cricket is to keep that balance between Test cricket and 2020. That balance has to be kept. Because if that balance somehow shaken up by so much 2020 cricket, the danger is the quality of cricketers is going to go down. What attracts people to cricket, attracted me to cricket, the sight of a fast bowler running in, Dennis Lillee. I think that was the first, I was a schoolboy. I was 18 when I watched him bowl, and I wanted to bowl like him. So people flock to grounds to watch great fast bowlers, match-winning bowlers, Shane Warne, Usim Akram, Waqar Yunus, quality bowlers, Shoaib Akhtar, bowlers who ran in. And that battle between the bat and the ball is what attracted the crowds. The danger is that 2020 is just going to take that away. The match-winning bowlers will disappear. You will have these bowlers who can bowl 4 overs and get away with not being hit much.
That I agree with you. Last question, if I may. Hopefully this one doesn't offend. But I've travelled all the way from Melbourne. Mm-hmm. Is it possible to get a selfie?
Sure. Okay.
And finally, I've brought my Replica 92 shirt, which I've been collecting all the signatures. And I'm hoping I can get yours. Make it easy for you.
So you talked to all these guys?
All these guys, yeah. So
You talked to Zed?
Talked to Zed, spoke to Misbah, spoke to Sakinda, spoke to... Sakanda? He's got views.
Pity he wasn't that great at cricket.
12:30 in the morning. We're about 2,000 metres above sea level north of Islamabad. We were heading to a hill station. We were meant to be there 2 hours ago. But we were going to sit outside and sing Kumbaya and enjoy some food and... Last night we drove north from Islamabad, the capital. It was meant to be about a 2-hour drive into the hills, and the hills start literally right at the edge of the city. But our van broke down, so it took us 5 hours, and we got up here about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we couldn't see the scenery as we came up. But this morning, coming up here, you could be anywhere. You could be in Switzerland, you could be in the Alps of Australia, you could be in the Rockies. It's peaceful, the air's very sweet and clean, and in the background you hear the children playing in the schools, a few cowbells, the bustle of the market, the insects, the birds, the odd police whistle. But it's the kind of place where it draws you back, and I know we're leaving here soon, but I don't want to go.
You've come here. Why Pakistan?
Yeah, good question. Look, I have followed Pakistani cricket a little bit, I guess, sort of as a casual observer. For maybe 4 or 5 years, you know, we grew up watching Javed Miandad swing a bat at Dennis Lilly at the Wacker. We all remember Imran Khan in 1992 in Melbourne. And that was sort of where the legends kind of grew. Then we saw guys like Shahid Afridi who were ahead of their time. And there was some excitement around Pakistan cricket when they came because we didn't know their players' backgrounds. We don't know their history. There wasn't much interaction with Pakistan. So it was low. Then in recent times, Pakistan's shown quite a bit of fight with how it's performed on the world stage, and that's appealed. So I decided that I should come and check it out. I wanted to understand the links between Pakistan and cricket. There's something there. I haven't quite got my finger on it yet that I'm trying to understand. And there's also a lot of Western perceptions about Pakistan. The majority of them are negative that I also wanted to explore. I've felt safe as a whole. I haven't felt on edge. I haven't felt like I've had to watch my back. I haven't felt as we move through the streets on foot that people are watching me or that I should be careful or, you know, in some countries I've been to, I've worn a baseball cap to try and cover up my light hair and the fact I've got lighter skin than other people. I haven't had to do that here. I haven't felt the need to do that kind of thing to slot in. But I've also been reading the newspapers. Security's front and centre in the newspapers.
Security's front and centre in some cities. But the leaders of the country that I've been speaking to in cricket and other fields have a positive view about where Pakistan's security situation is at the moment and the trajectory that it's heading on. And I tend to share that view. Problems happen all over the world. They happen in Las Vegas, they happen in New York, they happen in London, they happen in India. The reality is, last year, 2017, there were more bombings in India than any other country in the world in terms of a quantum. Yet we still play cricket there. There's been bombings go off in London and suicide attacks in London. We still play cricket there. In Sydney a few years ago, in Martin Place, the main mall of Sydney, there was a terrorist attack where people were killed. We still play cricket in Sydney. What is it that's holding the cricket community from coming back to Pakistan? It's probably because there was a direct attack on cricketers here in 2009, which elevates it a little bit. But we're seeing other sporting events in Pakistan. We're seeing hockey internationals. We're seeing badminton. We're seeing kabaddi. We're seeing soccer. So maybe the door is ajar for international cricket to return here. But I've felt safe. I haven't felt on ease at all. I think cricket in Pakistan is the social equaliser, insofar as cricket doesn't discriminate against which school you went to, how much money you have, what job your father has, what job you have, what car you drive, what religion you are, what sect you are, where you live, how big is your house, where you studied overseas. All those things dissipate with cricket, insofar as cricket doesn't care about any of those things. And when cricket's on, everybody's watching it, whether you're watching on a TV or you're there or you're streaming it on an app or you're doing something. Everybody's talking about cricket here. And if Pakistan's winning, the whole nation is happy. If Pakistan is losing, the whole nation is sad. So it seems to be the barometer of the nation's happiness at any given point in time. The tape ball question's an interesting one. I see that as probably the glue underneath. For whatever reason, Pakistanis have taken to a game where you grab a tennis ball, which is from another sport. You wrap it in electrical tape, which is from another industry. You go out there with a cricket bat and you play on anything you can find that makes a pitch. You use anything you can to make a wicket. You make up any rules you can based on the situation that you're in.
What do you think, what steps do we need to take to sort of, make sure that we keep the positive aspects of religion intact while maybe also, alleviating some of the negative aspects, especially with women's cricket and so forth?
Yeah, look, I think the institutions need to lead the way. And it's a hard one for me to answer because I don't proclaim to be an expert in Islam. And I also don't proclaim to be an expert in Pakistani society, the cultures and the history and the norms. But if the institutions such as the PCB or the PSL teams create avenues for the women, for the girls, where they can come and feel safe and where they can get proper coaching and where society, their parents, their family can see that this is a comfortable, safe place for these girls to be, these women to be, and that there's a positive outcome, that they'll still get married, they can still study, they can still have children, they can still do all those things that society here asks of them, or they can have a career, whatever it is. I think there's an element here where the girls need to be protected to a level, and maybe we need to wind that back a bit and just create some safe spaces for them. And if the institutions can do that, if some of the institutions can show some leadership, I think that will help.
15 days in Pakistan, working, filming, driving, flying, eating, interviewing, trying new things, not really sleeping very much. But now it's all over and I need to be flying home. I came to Pakistan to try and understand why its people are so naturally linked to cricket. I also wanted to explore and challenge the negative perceptions around this place. And it's fair to say I clearly understand both much better now, but let's be honest, in 15 days, can anyone truly understand a place like this? But I got to interview Zahir Abbas, Misbah Al-Haq, Mohan Khan, and Akmal brother, and the great Imran Khan. I got to play tape ball cricket with young men across the country. I ate everything. I didn't get sick even once. But importantly, the whole time here, I felt incredibly safe. I discovered that here in Pakistan, cricket is the great social leveller. Cricket is the only thing that unites. It refuses to discriminate on any grounds, not on class, not wealth, which god you pray to, or where you live. Pakistan. It literally means land of the pure, but it is also home of the resilient, a place of wonder, deliverer of dreams, an incredible puzzle that is most likely unsolvable. But trying to do so has been absurdly fun. Thanks, Pakistan, all of you, every last little inch.